Well, it really is a sport.
I believe that's painted black. This Irish Bill with Seminole Bob. It's the Buffalo Wild Wings Coaches Show. We're coming on tonight's show with the Navarre Raider Marching Band. So we'll have a couple of band members on tonight, a couple of cheerleaders to ensue the whole Friday Night Lights.
Absolutely.
And we'll just listen a little bit more before we start the show. It's the Navarre Raider Marching Band.
You have just unlocked the door to the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of sound and of sight. You are moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of offense and defense. You have just crossed over into the Irish Bill Sports Zone.
Irish Bill Sports broadcast of Navarre Raider football. Here's your host and the voice of Raider Nation, Irish Bill. And here come the Raiders.
Welcome to Buffalo Wild Wings Coaches Show. This is week 8 of the 2024 season. For show purposes, week 9 of the high school football schedule here in the 850 and throughout the state of Florida. Seminole Bob, Irish Bill here. Like I said, we got a full show tonight, Bob. We're going to have a couple of band members on. They'll introduce themselves. Then we'll follow that up with a couple of cheerleaders and finish up. As they walk in the door, we'll just keep interviewing them. Sound good?
Yeah.
We got a great show ahead of us coming up tonight. It's the Publix Beach Bowl Cup this week, Bob.
That's right.
It is the
26th
edition. Actually, it's the 26th overall game because they didn't start the Publix Beach Bowl Cup. It will be edition number 17 in the Publix Beach Bowl Cup when Navarre holds a 14-2 overall lead. With the trophy currently in the halls of Navarre High School.
Was that, I think it was a mastermind of Jay Walls, wasn't it?
No, that was actually
before
him. I think it was Coach Lashley that came up with it. And because 17, this would be put it back to 2008. So it would be Coach Lashley's first year at the helm for Navarre. What a great matchup. Like I said, Navarre leads the overall series 16-9. They lead the Publix Beach Bowl Cup 14-2. 2 new coaches in the Cup this year, Bob.
Yep, absolutely.
You got Coach Garrett Bagley and Coach Jim Stomps. Both teams 2-5 on the season, struggling on the offensive side of the ball. So who knows where this game's going to go Friday night?
Yeah, Coach Stomps joined the Dolphins late, Bill. I mean, when you're thinking of coaching changes,
Jeff Gerke, I think mutually stepped down, and so they had to replace him. Coach Stomps came in and brought his senior quarterback son with him. So Brock Stomps is the starting quarterback for the Dolphins. They mainly air attack offense, having a little trouble running the ball. So these teams are kind of similar. In their offensive scheme, yet a little unsuccessful so far in 24. But we got a lot of other games coming up this Friday night. And let me roll into those games. We've already picked them. We picked them on the last night's show. So if you got a question of a particular game you want to know the matchup with, here's your schedule starting tomorrow night. I'm going up with Brady to watch the Pine Forest at Pace game up in Pace tomorrow night.
Yep.
Sneed's at Lighthouse PCA. Thank you. Navarre at Gulf Breeze, Milton at West Florida, Lincoln at Niceville, Crestview at Escambia, St. Michael's Catholic of Alabama at Pensacola. I think they're out of Daphne, the Daphne area.
Fairhope.
Fairhope? Not pretty close. They're separated by like 5 miles, 5 or 10 miles.
Yep.
You got Godby at Fort Walton Beach, Booker T. Washington at Tate, Arnold at Mosley. Mosley just keeps on rolling. Bay at Walton, South Walton at McCullough, Madison County at Florida High, St. John Paul II at Rickards, Bradford at Leon. I wouldn't want to be Leon this week with that Bradford team after they got knocked off last week by Newberry. Marianna at Holmes County, Taylor County at Sewanee, Rutherford at Bozeman, Baker at Freeport, Chipley playing for the first time in 3 weeks thanks to Mother Nature. They will be at Destin, Northview at Bluntstown, Franklin County at Port St. Joe, North Florida Christian at Maclay, Weewaw at FAMU, Jefferson County at Liberty County, Osceola Christian still unbeaten. They'll be on the road at Bell, and Rocky Bayou travels over to Jacksonville to take on Joshua Christian Academy. There's your
Florida
lineup.
High School Activity Association announced this week that the season's going to be extended, I believe, the playoffs before the playoffs start because of the storms. And we got another one coming in.
Yeah, they extended it by a week, so that will give time for the teams to make up at least one of their games.
Yes.
Going into the playoffs.
If it's not a district game, it may not get made up.
More than likely.
Yeah.
But that's our lineup coming up this week, and we're going to talk about our former Navarre Raiders here real quick. Michael Carter's still on the practice squad for the Arizona Cardinals. He's in his 4th year. They're 2-4 on the season. Jacksonville Jaguars defensive lineman Jordan Jefferson got into the game against Chicago this past weekend. The Bears kind of took it to him. Mm-hmm. They gave him one of these.
Really?
The Bear Claw. They're good to eat, but they're not fun to fight.
That's the wrong kind of bear claw.
Yeah. And good news for Quentin Randolph as he will be back in Vegas again in the fall. Actually in the spring for the Las Vegas Knights. It'll be his 4th season in the Indoor Football League. Temple wide receiver at Dante Wright had an open week. They're 1-5 on the season. Eastern Kentucky's Josh Carter, 11 carries, 43 yards, a touchdown, 4 receptions, a 42-21 loss to Southern Utah this past weekend. On the season, 96 carries, 468 yards, 5 touchdowns, 10 receptions for 82 yards. Open week for McNeese State University offensive lineman Elijah Melendez. He's started in every game this year for McNeese State. Huntington College Bailey Houston. He had 2 solo tackles and a tackle for loss and a 42-0 win over Methodist. And they'll be facing off with Maryville this weekend. And the former Raiders Jackson Spalla and Hunter Feaster will be on the opposite side of the field in that matchup there.
Did they play? Yeah, they played together.
Yeah. Florida State will be – they had an open week this past week, the Friday night game again at Duke.
Yep.
See if they can register their 2nd win of the season. I'm sorry, Bob.
I don't know.
Should I played
we can't even win an exhibition baseball game.
A bugle call for shoot off the 21-gun salute for their season.
Man.
It's been a long one.
And don't forget, we got to go to Notre Dame.
Correct.
And to Miami Gardens to play Miami.
And you got to play Florida still.
At home.
But still.
Yes.
Both teams will be with backup quarterbacks in that game.
Correct.
As Mertz is out for Florida. University of West Florida's Devin Wright didn't play in a 40-28 big win over Delta State this last weekend. This week they'll be on the road to Chowan. Also, I'm not sure if Tyrell is traveling with the team on the road games yet. Kennesaw State offensive lineman Ethan Newman. They played last night, and the score was 13-5. as they
Who
played
won?
Middle Tennessee State, won 13-5.
Okay.
And University of Western Michigan wide receiver Terrence Marshall, surprised he has not gotten in a game yet. But he didn't play last week in a 34-24 win over Akron. They're 3-3 on the season. They'll be at Buffalo in New York this weekend. It'll be a little chilly up there in northern New York. Maryville College, as I said, Hunter Feaster, Jackson Spalla. They'll be on the road this week hosting Huntingdon. Then Lighthouse Christian College. Their game last weekend was canceled, of course, due to Hurricane Milton.
Right.
As they were supposed to play Southwest Florida Prep. Was down on
years and years ago, they had freshmen could not play varsity football in college.
I remember that.
Same
in basketball, too.
Yeah, I'm dating myself. You got these talented players, and I know it was probably ended because of money. Do you like that idea now? I mean, we've got Alabama's got the talented wide receiver who got the touchdown, who's only 17 years old, blah, 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 blah. Do you like this?
What's that?
Concept of, or would you want to go back to a freshman football?
I like it. If you're talented enough to play as a freshman, let him play.
Let him play.
Because just think about this. We saw what Pistol Pete Maravich did in 3 years.
True.
He didn't play his freshman year.
Oh, that's right.
And
did Brady play his freshman year?
I'm trying to remember. But Pistol Pete played at LSU.
Yeah.
And didn't play his freshman year, but it went on to average 40-plus points a game his last 3 years.
Yeah.
And still one of the top leading scorers of all time in college basketball.
He used to ride his bike to school and dribble a basketball at the same time.
He slept with his basketball.
Yeah. Well.
He went everywhere with that basketball. His dad was a basketball coach.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And what a career. Life ended way too short for that young man. And but anyways, we're going to roll out of this first segment, and we'll come back, and we'll have our two young lady Navarre Raider marching band members coming on the show.
Sounds
good. It is Friday Night Lights here on Wednesday night. From Buffalo Wild Wings, Seminole Bob, Irish Bill. We'll be back after this commercial break.
To everyone making time for life's best moments, let our team member Sandy share how Culver's is serving up Celebration by the Scoop.
Our rich and creamy fresh frozen custard makes every day a little bit sweeter. Enjoying a handcrafted treat with all the ooey gooey toppings you love? Now that's worth celebrating.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a sweet treat to make every moment count. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
A strong work ethic takes pride in a job well done. This is the kind of person you need. Express Employment Professionals can help because we understand what it takes to hire the right person. It takes real people, real interviews. We find good people, matching the right skills with the right jobs from the production floor to the front office. Express knows jobs. Get to know Express. Go to expresspros.com to find a location near you.
University Lending Group, located in Harvest Village, is Navarre's local mortgage lender. Buying, building, or refinancing a dream home is in your future. You need to contact University Lending Group. Jennifer Gomes, Stacy Wright, and Sheila Billingham are the loan specialists who have the experience to take you step by step to make your buying, building, or refinancing experiences smooth. So University Lending at 752 Navarre Parkway, Suite 56, or call us at 850-396-0322. Navarre Fitness is where old school meets new. Whether you're into free weights or the latest and greatest weightlifting equipment, they will meet your needs. They have cardio machines as well if you want to get your sweat on. Whatever direction you decide to go, trainers Clay Horton, Brick Grubbs, Andrew Coase, and Stephanie Hunt will be there to assist you along the way. So what are you waiting for? Oh yeah, how do I join? Just go to NavarreFitness.net and check out our rates or call us at 850-816-0000. 5434. You can even stop by our location at 8700B Navarre Parkway in Navarre. You can also visit our sister gym, Midway Fitness, at 5660 Gulf Breeze Parkway, Unit 1. Both facilities are open 24/7. We are the place to go to get you started on the road to a better you.
Sometimes all you need to change your life is a sign.
Like an actual sign that's like above you. And no, I don't love B-dubs just because I'm a buffalo with wings. Frankly, that's offensive and reductionist. It's like they made beer into a place and gave that place sports and chicken wings. And the people, the best.
Marty! You're dead weight!
Yeah, this place is kind of like heaven. You know, without needing to get hit by a bus. Let's go sports bar!
Welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings Coaches Show. It's the Friday Night Lights version here on Wednesday night at Buffalo Wild Wings. And Navarre, the music you're hearing in the background is the Navarre Raider Marching Band. You're asking why? Well, tonight we're having a couple of band members, a couple of cheerleaders, the whole Friday Night Light experience. And we're going to go to our first guest here. And how you doing? You ready for this?
Doing pretty good.
What a year it's been for the band so far. Could you tell us a little bit about what's been going on over the last couple of months?
Yeah, so we started back in May and June.
First, you got to introduce yourself.
Yeah. So my name is Lexi. I'm the drum major, which means I conduct, and I also am in charge of a lot of the rehearsals.
And now, it's been a very successful fall so far. Go over a little bit about what has happened and tell us a little bit about your experiences on Friday nights and what it takes to prepare for a Friday night game.
Yeah, so we start the season way back in May, where we start with all of our music. We're teaching the new kids how it goes. And then when we get into football season, we are at most of the games. We go to as many games as we can. We're performing all game. We got our stand tunes. We have our halftime show, which is a lot of preparation, a lot of work in class and after school.
I was telling Mr. Grant here before, I said, probably the hardest working program in all of Navarre, including the sports and everything. I go out there, I've watched it. I know my high school band, I have no musical talent whatsoever, so don't ever ask me to come out there to play an instrument because I can't even carry weights, let alone a tune. But anyways, how much time and effort during the summer did you guys spend each day preparing for the season?
Yeah, so we have our band camp in July, which is about 8 hours a day for 2 weeks straight. And then when we get into the actual school year, we have about 7.5 hours of practice a week. And that's only including the after school. That doesn't include in class and before performances. So it averages out to about an hour per minute of performance time.
Wow. Like I said, what a year it's been. I know each year you guys you have a theme or a program that you practice on. Going into this year, what was your theme and your program that you were working on?
Mm-hmm. So our halftime show is called Paint It Black. It's based on the Rolling Stones song Paint It Black, and it is 3 movements, like 7.5 minutes, pretty much going through the story of a man who lost his wife and going through the 5 stages of grief.
I have followed Dean Barrow for quite a while. I know it can be really tough on you guys because he wants you guys to all succeed. Mm-hmm. But I've had the pleasure of talking with him the last couple of nights. I wish he could be here tonight. So, mm-hmm. But I know he is really proud of what direction you guys have gone this year. Tell us a little bit about the grant that you guys just won.
Yes, so a couple months ago we had our original meeting with a company called Impact 100, which is a group of women who all pay $1,000 to buy in to, they're basically philanthropists. So we have our original meeting that I actually spoke at, and we go through what we would want with that money, which for us is instruments. A lot of our instruments are older than our students playing them. So they have issues that we need to repair, or a lot of them just need to be replaced. So when we talk to them, we give them our rundown of what we need, and then we went from within the 90 groups that applied to our 15 finalists, and then eventually one of the 12 winners.
And eventually the winner, and $106,000 to the Navarre program, and that's awesome. Bob and I really stress the old Friday night experience, and it's from the weather to the band members to our OTC to what color uniforms our players are wearing, the cheerleaders. I mean, it's just, I love everything about Friday Night Lights. And how has your high school experience been at Navarre High?
I love it. It's been really great. I love the Friday Night Lights, being out there every week, and just the environment, all rallying together behind one cause and bringing all of the groups together to create that atmosphere.
What instrument do you play?
So during marching season, I'm the drum major, so I'm conducting the band.
Oh, so you're up on the high platform. I'm afraid of heights.
Yeah, we're lucky to have railings on ours.
Most definitely. And when did you start getting into the band? At what age?
Around 11 or 12, I started playing flute, and since then I've kind of branched out to most of the instruments. And then in my 11th grade year, I auditioned for and got to be drum major.
That's pretty. My wife went to the University of Wisconsin, where they have a huge band, and you actually have to try out for the band, and you have to go through a fitness program during the summer to be able to make the band. And but I think it's pretty impressive. You also won another event here recently, within the last month or so. Can you tell us a little bit about that event?
Yes. So last weekend at Tate High School, we had our annual marching MPA, which is musical performance assessment, where we go and perform in front of judges. We perform our halftime show, and then we get ratings back from those judges. So for the first time since I've been here, we got the highest score in every category from those judges.
That's pretty incredible. Mr. Barrow doing a great job with the band. I know I saw you guys preparing before we went on the air, and you guys are more prepared than I am coming into doing a broadcast. I think that was pretty impressive. Is there anything else that you want to bring up about the band, and maybe some of the how is the band? Are they like one big family? Does everybody get along? I know in some families not everybody gets along, but for the most part, does everybody get along pretty well?
Pretty much. We always say band ends up becoming a family for a lot of these kids who, when you get to high school, a lot of them don't know what to expect, but we bring them in and we teach them our ways, and then when they become seniors, they get to pass that down.
That's pretty incredible. Once again, this is Lexi with me tonight. We're going to be welcoming one of her bandmates here in just a second. You did a great job tonight. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Unless you want, you may have different questions. This is Irish Bill's Twist on Sport, not Twist on Sports, but Buffalo Wild Wings Coaches Show here at Buffalo Wild Wings in Navarre. It's Friday Night Lights on Wednesday night tonight. The band members, cheerleaders will be coming on for interviews tonight. And Seminole Bob will be interviewing our next young lady.
This is Seminole Bob back at the Buffalo Wild Wings Coaches Show. You're going to have to introduce Annabelle?
Yes.
Annabelle, I remembered. Annabelle, and you are the
transportation officer / equipment manager.
Okay.
So basically I just work to help load up all of the equipment onto the trailer and the truck for all of our competitions and all of our away games and stuff like that.
That's no small task. And, of course, you have moms and dads, helping you with the muscle stuff. But,
yeah.
You guys work so dang hard year-round.
Thank you. Yes, it is a very labor-intensive practice, but it is something that I love doing, and I know that all of the band loves doing.
you guys had it's been a big week for Navarre band.
Yes, for
and
sure.
And Dean Barrow. I want to. When you say Dean Barrow, you're thinking he's a dean of a university. No, that's his name,
Yeah.
Dean Barrow. But some exciting news you want to share if you have not seen in the newspaper or read on Facebook.
Well, I mean, this most recent Saturday was our marching MPA, which is our music performance assessment.
Right.
We ended up getting straight superiors, which for those who don't know, it's the highest ranking that you can get for the band. Actually, so far this season, we have gotten nothing but superiors for our horns. So
I can't remember a time when they didn't.
Right.
Yeah. But you had another announcement this week.
Yes, the grant from the Impact 100, which I think was talked about a little bit earlier. We worked with the Impact 100 women who, if for those of you who don't know, and it might have already been discussed, but there's at least 1,000 women who each spend $1,000, and it all gets brought up into a set number of grants, and all of these grants get given to nonprofit organizations such as our own.
Started out as, when you say Impact 100, it started out as 100 women given $1,000, and it's grown, as you said, to. I'm very familiar with it, being with the YMCA. We, applied every year. It's not an easy process.
It really isn't. And we have a lot of amazing parents to thank for that, like Miss Janet Bautista, who is our booster for everything. She worked really hard to get us this grant. I mean, I helped give the final speech, but that's really all I did, as a student. It's mainly our parents in our school who has helped us to get this far, really.
The ladies of Impact 100, they really like having participants, whether it be kids or teenagers, adults, whatever the program affects, give that speech. So whatever you said must have been very, excuse the pun, impactful to them to award, because there's a lot of deserving applicants.
Of course, yes. There were at least 90 applicants that went for it.
Good Lord.
Only 12 were chosen. And I mean, I spoke from the heart. I spoke about what I love about our band and how amazing it is, and how the grant is really going to help us with these new horns that we'll be getting. So
the money's going to go primarily towards instruments, correct?
Yes, primarily like the French horns, baritones, tubas, just the larger instruments that most families can't afford.
They ain't cheap.
Absolutely not. Ranging from 5,000 to 10,000. Not
Crazy.
Everyone can get that.
Yeah, and like you said, they'll belong to the school. They'll be property of the school board, but it's for students who can't afford to rent.
Right, yeah.
I guess some buy, don't they?
Some occasionally, but it's not very often you see kids buying tubas.
For whatever reason, our girls chose not to. They played in middle school and enjoyed the heck out of it. One played flute, one played trumpet. And I've listened to Hot Cross Buns more than I can care. And in fact, Alyssa also did violin and ukulele. But so it's a year-round program, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It is, yeah.
Tell us about summer band camp. What does that entail?
So typically, for our school specifically, we have two separate camps. We have one in June and one in July. The one in June is typically where we get the music. We hand it out to our incoming freshmen so that everyone can start getting to know the music. And then in July is when we truly start bringing everything together, and we start getting the drill ready so that we can start marching on the field and stuff like that. And it's about 2 weeks, the July band camp. It's typically ranges from 7 to 12 hours every day, depending on the year.
We have outstanding middle school programs, both at Woodlawn and Holly Navarre.
Yes.
But they're not marching bands.
They are not.
They sit. And so that's even more it's even harder for Mr. Barrow to get them going in the summer because they're used to sitting and playing, right?
Right.
As versus marching. Whole different ball game because you've got all kind of other things. You've got twirlers, you've got flat core.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
It's even more different for brass instruments because some of them have to switch completely instruments. Like you have the tuba versus the sousaphone or contra. You have the French horn versus mellophones, which have different fingerings as well. So it's all just, it's new experiences for a lot of freshmen.
Some people may not know that there's not just a marching band. What other type bands do you have at Navarre?
Well, after marching season, we get into more of like the concert season. So we have our typical symphonic band that goes and performs for another MPA where we have more scores and more judges. There's also the jazz band as well as indoor color guard and indoor percussion.
Right.
And then there's also steel pan.
Do you have a pep band? Like play at sporting events like basketball?
Not particularly.
Yeah.
We have the entire band playing for the football, but we don't have specific bands to play for other organizations.
Cool. My guest is Annabelle. I guess you're the manager, aren't you?
Well, for equipment, yes.
Equipment manager for the Navarre band. They're all special and they're all valuable. How big is the band? How many members now?
Ranging around 130 last I knew.
They're growing. Why? A lot of it has to do with Dean Barrow.
Yes.
Right? And you have an assistant band director now?
Yes, Mr. Ryan Murphy. He is the band director at the Holly Navarre Middle School, and he is also a big reason why we are getting higher numbers. His middle school is probably the one that we get the most students from every year.
Right. Right. Yeah. Annabelle, you're a junior?
Yes.
What do you want to do when you walk out for the final time at Navarre High School? You obviously want to go to college?
Yes.
And what do you want to study?
Still looking at options, but most likely something in accounting or a mathematic field.
Always need accountants. Do you have a school in mind or?
Not particularly right now. I'm still looking at all of my options.
Where are the big accounting schools around here? Are you familiar?
Really couldn't tell you. I'm not the most familiar with them.
You haven't reached that part yet?
No.
You're still thinking about high school, senior year. Never too early to start, though.
Yeah, of course, yes.
Yeah. So, Annabelle, junior at Navarre High School, all part of the Friday Night Lights. Yes, the centerpiece is football. You heard Coach Bagley in the Escambia game talk about in the rain. Speaking of equipment manager, Dean Barrow came to you and said, hey, we're not traveling because it's supposed to downpour.
Yes.
And we got caught. We got caught in that. And Coach said, the band not playing, not being there for very good reasons. You just bought very expensive uniforms, right?
Yeah.
Affected their play. Didn't blame you. It was just, you don't want to get. Are they made of wool or is it polyester? What are your uniforms made of?
I'm not entirely sure. It's both the uniforms and it's also for woodwind instruments, they have a lot of cushioning on the inside of them. So with the rain, it can damage them and it can cause mold to grow inside of the instruments. So it's safer to keep them out of the rain. So
I didn't even think about that. See what you learn on watching the Buffalo Wild Wings Coaches Show here from beautiful Navarre Beach. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Of course, thank you.
You did a great job. And the good thing about this, your family here and afar, they can go to YouTube and watch your great performance. She's the reason that they got the $100,000 recently through the Impact 100. We thank the ladies of Impact 100. We thank the band parents
Yes.
What would we be without band parents?
Well, probably in heavy debt.
Yeah, Mr. and Miss Stevens are good friends of ours. They have a daughter in the band, and Ray and his wife do just a great job. Ray's out cooking from early in the morning till game time. But yes, they do a lot of different things, from making money to physical labor, carrying the stands that the band leaders play on, and help with water and food and all that good stuff. So we love you, band parents, and we love these kids too, because not only do they perform, they're great in the classroom, and that's what all part of what Friday nights is all about. We're going to take a short break. This is Seminole Bob on the Buffalo Wild Wings Coaches Show from Navarre. Great job.
Thank you.
Good job.
Put the headsets on, make sure I'm loud enough.
Touchy Love on-air production.
I do. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Loud and clear? We'll give them the headsets, and then you'll use the field mic.
Mike?
Can you hear them?
Yes.
Well enough?
If not,
And I'll go back and
Coach
forth.
will interpret.
And I'll go back and forth with the cameras to make sure we get everybody on.
Coach, you're welcome to. I may hand you the mic, too.
Do I just not hear? Yeah, you're good, because I'll keep you in the loop. They'll tell you what you said, and you can hear. Okay.
You're good?
Oh, so I can talk.
You're good?
Using a headset? Yeah. Okay. They'll be able to hear us too, right?
We're cozy.
They can go back and forth. They're loud enough. They're close enough together.
Should I just go like this?
They better be loud, right?
They're cheerleaders.
Oh, heck yeah.
We're back at Buffalo Wild Wings. My guests are, forgive me for putting my arm here. I want to make sure we all fit in the picture.
Yep, you're good.
This is Seminole Bob joining me. This is a first for me. We have 3 cheerleaders from Navarre High School. Starting down close to the wall, you want to introduce yourself and what grade are you in?
I'm a senior. My name's Cassidy Allen.
Okay.
My name's Riley Hook, and I'm a senior.
I'm Sav Klesker, and I'm a senior.
You know, they're like our cheerleaders in middle school. You know, in the hallways, you can hear them all the way down at the end. But in the classroom there. And you're what year?
A senior.
Okay.
Senior.
Tell us about, let's start out. When did you get involved with cheerleading? How far back?
I've been doing cheer since I was like 8. I did NYSA
Yep.
until like high school, and then I've been on the team ever since I was a freshman.
And I'm sure somewhere along the line you had Tony Patton as one of your coaches, right?
Yeah.
Tony and her husband are good friends of ours.
Oh, I did gymnastics growing up, but I joined cheer my sophomore year in high school. But yeah.
When did you start?
I started, I think, like 1st or 2nd grade, and I've been cheering since.
Now, you're not just cheerleading, it's competitive cheer. Is that correct? Is that the technical name?
Yes, sir.
So there are certain things that you have to do, like background offs and stuff like that for computer. Summertime is big time training, right? While the rest of your friends are at the beach, tell us a normal day of what cheer is.
So we usually have practices during the summer at like 8, and then they go until like 10, and we have to do like 17 workouts for weightlifting, and we have to get like 17 like I said before, but you can do it before or after, so it's like pretty long days, but it's fun.
Some people who are naive would say, oh, cheerleaders aren't athletes. What would you say to that?
It's really hard sometimes in the training, and it is a sport if it's competitive.
I take it your coach over here runs you through the mill pretty good. It's just not right. What kind of things besides stretching you have to practice, right? You have to practice stunts and all, right?
Yes, and we do a bunch of conditioning, like stadiums and laps and Indian miles.
You run stadium steps?
Yes, sir.
You run stadium steps, or do you run bleachers inside?
Outside.
What's your favorite part of summer camp?
I think it's fun to like go away and just like be like kind of out somewhere different, and you learn from like other teams, and you kind of get to like get a different experience of like what you do every day.
Where do you go to camp? Troy or FSU,
This year
Florida?
we went to Southern Mississippi, and I think last year we weren't at a college, but we were in New Orleans.
Let me guess, it's not a vacation.
No.
No.
Not at all.
So while your friends are at the beach, you're working to improve your skill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's football season, right? Tell me what a regular Friday, which might include pep rallies,
Yeah.
would be for a cheerleader.
So we wake up at like 7 and we go to signs, because we make senior signs for all of the senior football boys every week, and we drop them off at our at their lockers, and then we have to go through the whole school day, and then we like if it's a home game, we'll go to one of the teams, like one of our teammates' house, and we'll eat dinner like as a team. And then we go to the stadium and we get like all of our jobs done. Like we have to get all the mats down there and like the cooler and stuff.
It's got to be hard to stay, if your team's not doing well, to stay into the game, right?
Yes, sir.
Because you're supposed to be cheerleaders, right? Yes. The whole idea of cheerleaders is to get the fans I can tell you take a lot of pride in being a Navarre cheerleader.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about something about Coach Bagley that we don't know.
I don't know. I feel like people think she's like really strict, but like as long as you do what you're supposed to do, like, and don't like get an attitude, it's really not like she's not strict at all. You just have to like do what you need to do.
She gets a supplement, and that's for cheerleading, and it's year round because you do basketball too, and other special events. The chamber asks you to come and this and that. She's also a mom and a wife and a teacher, right? An ESC teacher. I'm an ESC teacher. It ain't easy. I don't know how you do it, Coach. These ladies are, a great example. Tell me something about Coach that our listeners may not know. What does she mean to you and to the rest of the girls? And yes, she's across from you, but you can be honest.
She does a lot for like our program and stuff, and like if she's not there, then like we don't ever know like what to do like without her. Like we need her in order to like be the best that we can be.
Coach Bagley does a lot. Coach Garrett Bagley does a lot to the things that to me are as important or more important than teaching football skills. Teaching young men how to be productive citizens in society, to be young men. That's our goal as teachers. Tell us about what she does for you and being a productive citizen or a young lady at school.
She's just really good at making it like really easy to talk to, like a family, and like if you ever like need anything, she'll like give you really good advice, not just like with cheer but with like anything you're struggling with, I feel.
Wow. What does Coach Bagley do for you as a young lady? Maybe educational wise, maybe not.
I feel like she always like just checks up on us, like even like if it's not related to cheer, like if she can tell you're upset, she'll be like, hey, like what's going on? And I feel like she just tries to like make sure everyone's like okay, even outside of cheer.
High school sometimes full of drama. We know that. Does she help you on that end? Does she? Yeah. Right. Does she give girlfriend advice and boyfriend advice?
I mean, if you like need to talk to her about stuff like that, she's always like there to listen.
I know she's your coach, and she's probably has encouraged you to do something else after high school. Do you want to cheer after high school? Do you just want to be a college student? What plans do you have?
I've been considering doing cheer in college, but I don't know like yet because I want to go into med school and I don't want to like put too much on my plate.
And what do you want to major in? Do you have a college picked out or still thinking?
I want to go to Alabama and I want to be a radiologist, so go pre-med.
Look at B.B. Brown. Boy, did he throw everybody a curveball. He had signed to play football down in Central or South Florida. And the next thing we know, he's a cheerleader for University of Alabama. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Do you know BB?
Yeah.
Was he on competitive cheer?
Yes, sir.
Was he? Okay. All right, that makes sense. What do you want to do after school?
I'm looking to cheer in college.
Any particular school in mind?
I'm also looking at Alabama, but my options are open still.
Now, I don't know the answer to this question. Is there such a thing as college scholarships for cheer? There is, yeah. Is it a full ride, or is it like a lot of minor sports, Coach?
It depends on the school. It definitely depends on the school. There can be full ride, but a lot of times they do athletic scholarships in combination with academic as far as cheer goes.
I had a friend in college when I went to FSU that was captain of the team, and this is 30 some odd years ago. You had to be able to deadlift or lift so much because you're deadlifting cheerleaders. But it worked out so well for him, he stayed on as a grad assistant and got they paid for his master's degree. I thought that was pretty cool. So what do you want to do?
I hope to cheer in college too, but I've had some ankle injuries recently, so I've kind of like fallen behind on my tumbling and stuff. So if I can get that up, I'd like to cheer, but I want to go to school and get a business degree, and then I also want to get my real estate license to do real estate.
All right, I'm going to ask each of you this question. Who is the funniest cheerleader?
Me. No, I'm just kidding.
Really?
I'm just kidding. Hallie.
Funny as in jokes, funny as pranks, funny as
just
goofy, funny as...
She's just like all around like so funny, and I just like love being around her. Like she just, whenever you have a bad day, like Hallie's who you want to like see, because she can just make you smile in like a minute. I love her.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Who is the funniest cheerleader?
I'm going to have to agree with Sav and go with Hallie. She's really, really funny.
For the same reasons?
She's just a goofball. She knows how to make you laugh. She'll get you.
Who's the funniest cheerleader?
I think Hallie too. Hallie's
Clean sweep?
Yeah.
Does she prank anybody?
Not really.
Y'all don't do pranks like guys do, right? Like put shaving cream in their shoes or something. No, or yogurt, yogurt in their shoulder pads or no. Okay. I saw something the other night. And Navarre's been doing this for years. And that's why she's Coach Bagley. You had the community cheerleaders at the game. Yeah.
Yeah, we did. That was last week. That's our Be a Raider night. And this year we had about 72, I believe, kids from 4 to 13 on the sideline with us. It was a lot of fun. Very busy day. The high school girls, we always have to mentally prep for that because they cheer till the halftime. But it was a lot of fun. We love that. We love to bring the community and the young kids. And this year they've actually been training, all of our high school cheerleaders have been training our youth NYSA cheer teams.
It's very smart on Coach Bagley's part. Why? Well, for community relations is number one, right? And to a cheerleader, all the little kids have fun. They look up to you, right? And Coach Scott Murphy likes it because they bring their mommies and daddies to the game, and their mommies and daddies. I mean, it's a fact. They pay to get in. Yeah, and moms and dads might be already going to the game anyway, type thing. But it's a great way to get the community involved to see what kind of young ladies you are. Now, in the summer, you put on a camp too, correct?
We do. We do a summer camp. Actually, this year we did our 3-day, it's like a half-day summer camp, and then we put on a 2-day camp for just the NYSA Navarre Youth Sports cheerleaders. So we had lots and lots of camps and clinics this summer, kept us really busy. Our girls did a great job, girls and guys in our program. It was a really fun experience. And, again, it just – with no middle school sports in our area, that's our feeder program. So, we're just trying to strengthen that and – develop great cheerleaders and great young ladies and young men, even at young ages.
Yeah, that's a great point. I've said it for years. Escambia County, believe it or not, I don't know if they still do, but their budget size is about the same as Santa Rosa. So as far as having middle school sports, which they are, I know they're easing their way into it, which is better than nothing. But the budget's the same, and Escambia County has swimming, track, not football in middle school. They had basketball. So they play a limited, and I know we're getting there. And that's a big part because much like the band, of course, your cheerleaders come predominantly from NYSA. And you kind of have to start over, don't you?
With some of them we do. Honestly, it just depends on the coaches that they have down there the years before they come. We've been really blessed and fortunate that we typically have really good youth coaches in our area. But, you also have those kids that don't do NYSA. So our freshman team is always kind of starting fresh because I just don't feel comfortable cutting kids that have never had the opportunity to learn. So our freshman team is typically where we kind of see what's going to make or break and how they're going to develop.
That's the other Coach Bagley taking the little one. Did you cheer?
I did. I cheered in high school and a JUCO. So yeah, I did.
How long have you been here at Navarre?
This spring will be my 11th year.
Time flies when you're having fun. Before we go, tell me something about her that the listeners might want to know and what she means to you. I'm putting you on the spot, but
Riley's a really good athlete. I mean, like, she started sophomore year just doing cheer, and, like, before that she was a gymnast. But, like, I feel like for someone who's only been doing cheer for 3 years, she has a lot of, like, strength, and she definitely should cheer in college.
now it's your turn for her. Tell our listeners something about your friend over there.
Oh, I think that Sav is a really good cheerleader, and she like some of the NYSA girls like kind of struggle behind, but like she like is good, and she's also a really good friend, and like she's really like, I feel like she can talk to anybody on the team and just like be their friend. So like it's really nice to have people like that on the team.
Now it's your turn to talk about.
I think that they're both really, really talented, and they serve a lot to both teams, sideline and competitive. And I hope they both like go to college and cheer because they have a lot of potential.
Most of the time when you ask questions that you don't know are coming, you probably give us honest answers anyway, but you find out when answers or questions just come that many times you will get from the heart. And I appreciate what you said, because these high school years will go by so fast, and haven't they?
Yes, sir.
And you have it. Remind me, who's senior?
We're all seniors.
All seniors. Got your leadership here. Now, different than football, you have basketball that you cheer at too, but you have, let's face it, your last golf breeze game, football, your last pace game, and your last Niceville game, right? I'll just ask you to blurt out, have you thought about these things? Are you into sentimentality or not?
I have, like, whenever I do something, I'll be like, oh, like, last first, blah, blah, blah. But I just think of it more, like, as I'm glad that I got to experience it, like, as many times that I did. And, like, I'm just thankful to see another year, even if there's not going to be another one to come, because, like, I had so much fun the past couple years. So I am, like, kind of sad, but I just, like, smile because it happened, or whatever that saying is.
Have you thought about it much?
I have thought about it, but I try to not think about it because it makes me like kind of sad. But I also like just like keep telling myself that like we have competitive season, and like this isn't the last time I'm going to be cheering, but it is the last time I get to cheer with these girls, and it does make me sad.
I take it at senior night at the Niceville game, they'll be with their parents. Is that correct? Yeah. Have you thought much about it?
I definitely do. I think about it all the time. It's just like so, like I'm sad to graduate, not necessarily to leave school, but like I don't know. It's just sad. Like you only have one more time, and you never really think about it until like you're like in the moment or it's over. You're just like, oh, like I never thought about how often you do it, and it's gone so quick.
The accolades are coming in. Mr. Grimes is saying my daughter did cheer and weightlifting. So she was coached by both Bagleys, and they are a class act and enriched my daughter's high school experience and her life. Thank you. And that's coming from a gentleman who normally doesn't, or maybe he doesn't chime in. So the Grimes, I'm sure that you know who they are. Our guests have been Coach Bagley, and I forgot your first name. Okay.
Coach Anna.
Anna Bagley. Got to get these hearing aids fixed. And reintroduce yourself again.
I'm Savannah Klusker.
I'm Riley Hook.
I'm Cassidy Allen.
It's like one thorn and four roses. This has been Seminole Bob. Our guests have been part of the Friday Night Lights, right? It's just not the football team. It's the band. It's ROTC. It's the cheerleaders, right? Let's take a break. You're listening to the Coach Bagley and Bagley Coaches Show here at Buffalo Wild Wings in Navarre. Let's take a quick break. Oh, my headset smells like perfume.
It's probably the best it's ever smelled.
Oh. That was fun.
Was it? Did you have a good time?
Fun.
How were the young ladies?
They were great. They were all the three seniors. And Coach Bagley was kind of hovering, so I said, join in. She sat down, and I asked questions of Coach Bagley, too, because I said this is the Coach Bagley and Coach Bagley
Coaches Show.
And Anna cracked up.
We got a lot of folks joining us tonight. Thanks, Stacey Allen, Tim Keene checking in, Deborah Broxson, Scott Wheeler, Harold Crane checking in, Jackie Crane, Guy Grimes checking in as well. And no, our band does not play when the other team is in the huddle. We're respectful of our opponents, unlike at Escambia High.
Yeah, you know.
I know there's nothing wrong with it. At high school level, you can do it, but it's let's have a little sportsmanship. Maybe I'm off base here, Bob.
No, what got me was the adult band member and assistant band member were the ones egging them on.
Right. So we can't put it on the young adults there.
No, not at all. It's all part of what's our theme tonight? Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights.
Right. And the great idea, Bill. I
was over talking with Jacob Crowder and one of the Navarre tight ends over here, and solid season. He's in
competitive cheer too, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah.
With our quarterback Roman Marshall, Vinny Villanova, they're all in competitive cheer. Do an outstanding job, and I believe that Roman has offers to cheer in college already. But we'll see how the football side of things go and what direction he decides to go in that route. So overall, I mean, what do you think about tonight, Bob? It's been pretty cool, hasn't it?
It is. It's great idea, and I mean, Coach Garrett Bagley said it best when he talked about the Escambia game, how they were, flat. They didn't have the band there, and one of the band members said something. I don't know if he said it to you. But the band manager said why they didn't come, it wasn't so much the new uniforms, it's how the rain can hurt the instruments.
Correct.
I never thought of that.
And that's why a lot of times when Brady in the camps, if there's a forecast for rain, can't damage the footballs because the rain will damage a football if they're kicking it consistently. So that's another reason that they don't want to put the young men out there in the rain and the weather and everything as well. But The way the weather looked all day that day, I probably wouldn't have came either. But they may had to make a solid decision.
They call that a game time decision.
Indeed.
And let's not forget. All right.
So they were the band on the run.
Band on the run. Yeah. Let's not forget, some of these cheerleaders are not old enough to drive. What does that mean? The same reason for football, right? Soccer, track. Parents have to get them to where they need to go. And so our hats off to all the band member parents, cheerleader parents, sport parents. I was one of them, man. George ran early in the morning.
I played golf in high school. Not very well. I was just learning how to play in high school, but I had a great time. And I was actually a basketball manager. I kept statistics while I was in high school.
Oh, gee!
Go figure.
Go figure.
I was the shot chart guy. I had to sit in the stands and have to chart shots.
Yeah.
But I love being around sports, and it's taken me this far.
Not those kind of shots.
No.
Okay.
Like 15-footers and layups and all that kind of stuff. In the paint.
You color them when they make
right.
it and all that.
Misses, you put an X. Mm-hmm. Shots you made or you put a no. So it was fun, and then it got me into the games for nothing anyways.
Annabelle, the equipment manager for the band.
She looks like a bundle of energy.
She is. She was the one that made the presentation to the Impact 100 ladies. There was 90 organizations, Bill, that applied.
And Navarre brought home.
And just a handful. Well, they have categories.
Okay.
Like child care, special needs, seniors, etc. And they narrow it down from 90 to whatever. And you have your semifinalists. It's a big deal. I can tell you from experience, not being in the war room, but from the day before, our grant writer for the YMCA was very, very nervous. And it's a big deal.
But both Coach Bagleys. I mean, what an addition they have been to Navarre High School over the years. I mean, Coach Bagley with his 7 state titles, 6 young ladies in weightlifting, one for the young men. Assistant coach for 18 years at Navarre High. He learned from one of the best, Carl Madison. Who's a legend in this area and throughout the South.
Yeah.
Not only here in 850, but all around the South. And
and hats off to Casey
Winfelder, the principal.
She could have gone other direction.
It may have been maybe a little pressured a little bit to go another direction, but talking to her that Garrett was her number one.
He earned it.
He earned it.
And that's a powerful message you send to the other coaches.
He's family. He's like the father figure in our family.
And he's won championships in other sports. So.
7 state titles.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
The only state titles I believe in Navarre history are in weightlifting. We may have some individual ones. I'm not sure. You think me being a stat guy, I would know that, but mainly my statistics is in football right now.
Right.
But let's talk a little bit about this Friday night's game.
Yep.
Big matchup. It's as they call it, Breezer Week. Publix Beach Bowl Cup, 26th overall meeting. The most Navarre has played against any opponent in school history. They are 16-9 overall. That was after Gulf Breeze won like the first 8 of 9.
Mm-hmm. Gulf Breeze strong in the pass. Navarre strong in the run. Something's something's got to give, and
Most definitely. Should be an interesting. Let me pull up the weather for Friday night. See what it's looking like.
Ooh. We're going to have to try to unfold the.
Let's pull up the old
canopy.
weather here. Hopefully not. That thing's a load. Right now it's 59 degrees. That's beautiful out there today.
Yeah.
A Friday night, look at that. Nothing but sunshine, 72 degrees. I think we'll be wearing the long sleeve or sweatshirts on Friday night up in the stands.
Look what the low is.
50. Oh, wow. Low tomorrow is 49. Thursday's tomorrow low is 49. 54
Yikes.
the low on Friday. In fact, over the next 4 days, 40s and 50s for the lows, back up in the 60s the end of next week. But this is football weather, Bob.
It is, brother.
And I love it. I know you grew up down here, so you're not used to the cold, even though you do have family members up in Iowa.
Iowa, Michigan.
Yeah, so you've been to the cold.
Yeah, my daughter's in Omaha.
Omaha.
Low last night was 32.
Wow.
So, of course, they had, remember during the College World Series, they had hail in the middle.
You know, we can't go a show without playing this song. We'll get back to your shows momentarily, but we got to play this song.
Speaking of farmland.
Yeah. Nice segue there,
yeah.
Robert. Green Acres is the place to be. Farm living is the life for
We never
me.
did figure out what state they were in, did we?
Spreading out so far and wide. I'm not sure. Keep Manhattan, just give me that countryside.
New York is where I'd rather stay.
You could do that better than I.
Get a magic smelling hay. I just adore a penthouse view.
You do that every time.
Love you, but
Give me Park Avenue. The chores.
The stores.
Fresh air.
Times Square.
My life. Goodbye, city life. Green Acres, we are there. You know, we can't go a show without playing Green Acres.
I don't think my wife would do that. Would your wife leave?
Well, she kind of grew up in Wisconsin, so it's.
Oh, duh. Yeah.
And
there you go.
I don't know if I would.
Oh, there you
Even
go.
though I grew up, my grandfather had a farm out in the country, and we spent a lot of time out there doing chores. But I don't know if I could do that, to be honest with you, Bob. That's hard work.
Yeah.
And my hat's off to all the farmers out there and what they've had to deal with economically over the last few years.
Especially in the state of Florida, the citrus crop.
Most definitely. My good friend Perry Mason, who lives down in Lake Placid, Florida.
I
down
thought he
south.
was a lawyer.
No, this is a different Perry Mason.
Oh.
And he lives down south of Sarasota.
Yeah.
And they lost their orchard last year in one of the storms that went through the central western side of Florida down there. So
I'm sure insurance doesn't pay for.
Not a family business that's been around for years and years and years and years.
Right.
So they basically had to just close it down.
Mm.
So hats off to all the farmers out there. And Guy Grimes says, my daughter did cheer and weightlifting, so was coached by both Bagleys, and they are a class act and enriched my daughter's high school experience and her life. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words there, Guy Grimes. And
pretty heartfelt. Coach Hannah Bagley saw that and read that. She was very appreciative, and I wholeheartedly agree. Can't no argument here.
Well, it's easy for coaches to go through the motions over the years after they've been doing it a while, but it's tough for coaches to really care, and both the Bagleys really care.
They do.
About the youth at
Who do you
Navarre
give
High.
the advantage to Friday night? Coach Garrett Bagley, who has been through many of these Publix Cup contests, or a new coach going in that
New to the area, completely
Yeah,
new to the area.
Exactly.
Do I really need to answer that, Bob?
No. No.
I think you answered your own question there.
Yeah.
But I think Navarre has a big edge going into this game. Like I said, both teams struggle on offense. Navarre only averaging 11 points a game. Gulf Breeze averaging just under 10 points a game. Both teams giving up over almost 30 points a game. It's been a struggle, not necessarily on the defensive fault, but the offense is not staying on the field long enough to give their defenses a chance to really rest.
Yeah, and last week was pretty frustrating, and I hope my frustration didn't really come over the air, and I apologize if it did. It's difficult to stay positive, but that's our job, and if I didn't do it, I sincerely apologize. Hey, we got to tackle better. I think Coach Bagley will agree with that.
But we have a coach of our own. Well, she's called the producer. So if we get off track, we don't hear it from you guys. We hear it from the producer back at my house, and she's pretty tough at times, Bob. But she has to be with us too.
That's
Somebody's got to keep us in line.
That's true.
We don't keep each other in line, but we have a good time and tit for tat. But I want to thank the band members once again, and the cheerleaders and both Coach Bagley's tonight. What a great night! That was a lot of fun.
Very refreshing, nice break from football, but it's part of Friday Night Lights. Right.
And that was our whole thing going into tonight's show was Friday Night Lights. We'll still need to get to our OTC members out here one of these weeks. Well, the season's kind of winding down here. Game number 8 coming up for us Friday night. It's hard to believe. I say this every year, and people say, well, Bill, you say it every year. Well, it just seems like you wait for so long for the season to get here, and then in a blink of an eye, you're saying goodbye to 20-plus seniors who played their last game at Navarre High. And it's like losing a family member.
I asked the cheerleaders that question. Are you into sentimentality? Yes. It's not like football where, well, maybe it is like football, where because a lot of the football players go into weightlifting. But the cheerleaders are going to go into basketball, right? Have you thought about, your last Gulf Breeze game, your last Niceville game, your last Pace game? And to a woman, they said yes. Various degrees, it kind of hit them a little hard, a little sentimental, and but that's all part of it. Because after all of them want to go cheer, 2 of them want to cheer at Alabama.
We won't hold that against them.
No, but B.B. Brown has a big influence.
I think Roman has a scholarship offer from Alabama as well.
Roman
for cheerleading.
Yeah, well, you and I don't, but Roman's got that. He's got that Hollywood face now.
He does.
And we just need the big bubbas to continue protecting him so that babyface stays the babyface. And Roman does some RPOs. I realize every game is different, and you take what the old cliche, you take what the defense gives you. Every defense is different. They've watched, I'm sure, a lot of film on Gulf Breeze. So,
and a lot of these kids have grown up around each other.
Oh, yeah. They played each other
Breeze
through.
And Navarre, they've been playing each other since the youth football. NYSA and Gulf Breeze youth program down there.
Either
so
together
these kids know each other.
Or as opponents, yeah, exactly.
They're on the field, there may be a little bit of competitive battle that heightens at times. But off the field, these kids know each other. But, We're approaching the 9:20 mark. Usually about this time is about time when we pack up and get ready for Friday night football. Friday Night Lights.
Sir.
Navarre at Gulf Breeze. It's the Publix Beach Bowl Cup, Part 7. Wait, Yeah,
26.
17.
Oh,
17 in the
yeah.
Publix Beach Bowl Cup, 26 overall. So
I'm going to meet you at the stadium, senor.
you're going to meet me
Me
at
the station.
Yeah.
Going to meet me at the station.
Isn't that a song? That is a song, isn't it? Let me see if I can.
I don't
keep
know.
talking.
So, yeah, Beach Bowl Cup. Gulf Breeze is going to want to take it, give it to their first-year coach, Navarre, is going to want to hang on to it as well.
So don't let that chip spoil your trip.
There's the ads.
We'll keep talking until that.
Meet me at the station and I'll... The Water Boys?
The Water Boys?
Never heard of them.
It's called Meet Me at the Station.
They're probably covering for...
If I get to heaven before you do, I will meet you at the station when your train comes along.
Never heard of it before.
Never heard of it either.
This version.
But you know, if we bring something up, I can find it real quick.
Mhm.
I've gotten pretty
adept
and agile.
That's the word.
to,
ADE.
I bring up a lot of songs that a lot of you probably haven't heard. Some of them won't to admit having heard them. But
Jackson Brown was pretty cool.
Wasn't it?
Oh, man.
Fortunate Son. No, that was the
CCR.
CCR.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love the old time music, and it may be old time, but you know it's still appropriate in our day and age.
It's got soul.
It does.
It's got soul. It's the Bewitching Hour.
Yep.
Close to my bedtime.
For
Senor.
Seminole Bob, this is Irish Bill from Buffalo Wild Wings. We hope you enjoyed our Friday Night Lights version of Buffalo Wild Wings Coaches Show here on this Wednesday night, October 16th. Friday Night Lights on Wednesday night. And that's been our theme tonight. We hope you enjoyed this show. For Seminole Bob, may the wind ever be at your back until we see you Friday night from Gulf Breeze High. Take care.